Hi everybody on YouTube. I'm here with Stacy and Karen, and we're doing a live panel discussion at the Women Ties Retreat in Skaneateles, New York, and we're going to be doing technology. And that was our leader, Tracy,
who just walked in front of the
who
camera.
walked in front of the camera. We did not warn her that we were live. Tracy, come on over.
No, you gotta wave. Everyone's seen your legs. So.
This is the top half of Tracy.
I'm very tech savvy, as you can tell.
So we're going to be starting. People are coming into the room now, and we're going to be starting within a few minutes. But we wanted to get you guys on live so that you didn't miss anything. So it's going to be a couple of minutes of us just kind of hanging out, preparing, and then we'll get rolling, and you'll be with us live. So thanks for joining us. Hang out for just a minute or two. And we'll try to prevent any more strays from strolling in front. I didn't even see you do it. It's on, yeah.
Ready whenever you want.
Sure.
When you want to.
Welcome back, everyone. How was the buffet? This is one of the reasons I don't think we can change where we ever have selection. If any number one, if food number one, then number two. Our kids tend to the time. I'm glad we can end it here. We do such a wonderful job. So keep it in mind when you try to kind of see all business lines as well. But at this time, we'd like to introduce our afternoon session. So the morning was a little bit about more of the inspirational side of business, a little bit more touchy-feely. This panel is going to have some great tips to go along with technology and different tools you can use to connect with your customers and promote your business as well. And we have 3 experts in the area. So what I'm going to do is introduce them this time. Our moderator is Erica, Richard. She's a health educator and wellness coach who helps people get healthier and maximize their wellness with her business Catch Good Health. Erica offers one-on-one coaching via phone and Skype, workshops and classes, speaking services, workshop wellness programs, and hosts an online radio show. Catch Good Health Radio, she enjoys working with people and families trying to get healthier as well as individuals experiencing chronic illness. Our next panelist is Stacy White. Stacy is a business owner, an online marketing strategist, a YouTube marketing expert. She's the owner of Stacy White Solutions, and she helps businesses use online video marketing to get results. While working on her master's degree in learning therapy technology, Stacy is inspired by research that proved that unique powerful video to attract the attention of its audience and to communicate content. She taught herself how to make professional videos so that she could use it as an instructional tool. And our third panelist is Karen McMahon. She is one of the Women's Ties Advisory Board members and a successful woman entrepreneur for over 10 years. She's known as the affiliate whisperer. She works as an internet marketing strategist, speaks nationally at affiliate summit conferences, and writes for Thief Farms magazine. Karen brings over 10 years of internet marketing experience and 20 years of traditional marketing, strategy, and business development experience for clients. Karen's also best known for her work heading up shopformuseums.com, a nationally recognized online shopping portal where people can help raise free donations for museums and related organizations when they shop online. This is going to be about me welcoming our panel.
So hello everybody, and thank you for joining us for our panel, and big kudos to the facility for having a great lunch. It was really good. I enjoyed it. So before we get started, and before anyone else does anything embarrassing like Tracy just did about 5 minutes ago, As part of the technology panel, we decided to put our money where our mouth is and actually live stream our panel on YouTube. We didn't warn Tracy that we turned it on, and she walked right by the video when we turned it on. So we set it up very low tech, and it's on my Mac. So I'm just sitting around. All right. So here we are. Here are all the ladies at the Women's Hives. There's Tracy. Hello. Hello, everybody. I promise we'll only do this once. It's only one time. There we go. All right, YouTube people, you saw us all. I'm not so sold to go and see you. So, I'm sure you're all lovely. And those shows. All right. Okay, so we're live streaming, and one of the things that Stacy's going to mention later, and I'll share a little bit about my experience also, is about YouTube channels. So it's actually live streaming to my YouTube channel, and then it'll be saved and available later. So if there's anything that you liked that you missed, you can go onto YouTube later and listen again, which I think is pretty cool. So, well, first, let's ask, who likes technology? I like dabbling in it myself. Okay, who's lying and just wants us to be happy that you like technology? Like, okay. Who has a love-hate relationship with technology? Yeah, it works terrific while it works, and like I experienced this week, I upgraded my Mac to Yosemite, and that was a bad idea. But I upgraded to get a new program I wanted to download, and then my Mac was out for at least 24 hours, more than that actually, and it was bad. It took 4 Apple reps on the phone to finally fix it. So if you haven't upgraded to that, sorry Apple, don't. And apparently a lot of people have that problem online because I learned Apple. Is that me?
That was me. Sorry.
So, all right, so we've established
Technology.
who likes technology, who doesn't like it, and who has a love-hate relationship. So as we move forward, let's all share what our area of expertise is with technology. So do you want to go first, Stacy?
I'll try this again. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Good. What was the question?
What's your area of expertise with technology?
My passion is video, but my background has been doing things like creating WordPress websites, doing social media, pay-per-click, Google AdWords, video, Facebook AdWords, all that sort of stuff. But really, my expertise is in video, making great-looking video, great-sounding video, professional video, using equipment that I have around the house. So so using my smartphone or my iPod Touch, my iPad, my Apple, and then adding a couple of other pieces of equipment so it looks and sounds professional, and then putting it out there. And I teach people how to do that, and I use that same technology when I make videos for my clients. So I'm not the person that's going to make you the sizzle reel with all the cuts and the flashes and all that. No, I'm, it's, square, get to the point, say what you got to say, and move on, because I wanted to be simple, to the point, and effective, so people get a sense of what they need to get. And then you move on, and it's not going to be super expensive, so that means that you're going to keep making it over and over again to suit your purposes, as opposed to spending $3,000 for a video that you're going to milk every last cent of, even if it makes no sense to use it. So that's my expertise.
Karen, what's your area?
And I work as an internet marketing strategist. So I've been doing this for over 10 years now, which is kind of crazy, because when I started, some of you have known me that long, and I could barely turn on my computer and open an email without help. So that's why I have such a love-hate relationship with technology. But over the years, I've had to learn to embrace technology, because I bought into a company that was web-based. And so I've learned along the way a lot of things, and the biggest thing is patience, and when to call my husband to come into the room and save my computer before I throw it out the window when it's misbehaving. So what I focus on now is I help companies that are both big and small be able to improve the number of people coming to their websites and then helping to convert those into sales. I work with a lot of really big companies, so the Internet 100 list, the Fortune 500 list, so I'm known nationally and internationally now. But a lot of what those folks are doing, they're using a lot of apps and other free stuff that's super available to anybody. You just have to know what to look for, and you can easily apply those same principles to up and coming websites. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today.
In my work, I'm a health educator and wellness coach, and I joke about how I have a business and marketing undergraduate degree, but it was from 1998 before the internet, so it didn't really count that much. I didn't all the things that I learned, some of it was really helpful, but online marketing and internet research and apps and fancy phones, we didn't have that when I was studying marketing and business, so that was an old school business degree. But I studied health for my master's degree, but in starting my business, and I knew I wanted to teach and help people, and I thought I'd be a school health teacher, and then I was like, I don't really want to actually do that. I love kids and I love athletic coaching, but I don't want to work in a school. So then I thought, well, I'll teach at a university. So I did that for a little bit, but I really wanted to do my own thing. I love the freedom of entrepreneurship and the struggles apparently too of entrepreneurship. So in developing health and wellness programs and trying to help people wherever they're located, I got very familiar with technology. So I started with the basics, and then I wound up getting into online radio and podcasting. So that's what I'm going to share about today, online radio and podcasting. Don't be scared. I'll keep it simple and I'll break it down per Tracy's request, not to get into too many details right away. So that's what I'll be discussing. So Karen, let's start with you. Why don't you share about the work that you do with your clients? Like, what do you actually do?
So my favorite tech tools and what I do.
Yeah. I know you do affiliate marketing and then site reviews.
Right.
So that kind of work.
Exactly. So my biggest expertise is in affiliate marketing. Hence the name of my company is The Affiliate Whisperer. So what affiliate marketing is basically if you go online, there's always somebody making money behind the scenes no matter what you click on. So there are companies that are looking for people that run blogs, websites, anything that you're doing online, they're looking for people to help market their products and goods. And when you basically affiliate with them or partner up with them and you help drive sales to those large companies, even places like Amazon, behind the scenes, they're willing to pay you a commission on every sale that you drive to them. So that's the basic gist of what affiliate marketing is. From there, I do a lot of site reviews for all sorts of companies, basically trying to figure out how to optimize everything that's going on their site. So when people come, they see your site in a different way, and each person is unique. So when you build your site, are people actually responding to what you're putting up on your site, to your design, to the pages you want to go to? Are they actually headed towards the checkout, or are they all over the place and not able to make a decision, so they abandon your site? There's lots of things you can do to improve that whole process so that you end up with more sales and more people to market to at the end. So that's a lot of the work that I do now, especially with the big companies out there.
All right, and Stacy, you're the video expert. So just to be clear, don't blame Stacy for any issues on the video that I'm making. Stacy White is not responsible for the video on YouTube. It's all me. I'm much more low tech. So Stacy, why don't you share your work with video?
So when I work with business owners and entrepreneurs with video, there's a couple things that I like to focus on. One is teaching them or doing for them, teaching them the actual creation of making the video. I can do it for you. I can teach you how to do it. The next part is once you have the video, you got to put it somewhere so people can view it. And so you can put it on the Facebook, although I don't know how many people I meet that tell me, I don't have Facebook. Okay, whatever. So you can put it on the Facebook, or you can put it on the YouTube. I call it because they're like giants. So, and then there's the Google that owns the Facebook, that owns the YouTube. So
it's like the Donald.
Like, yeah, the Donald. So, And then, so there's making the video, putting it somewhere where people can watch it. And then but overarching all of that is, video is just another medium of communication, just like a blog, just like a tweet. So you have to, if you wanted to do the work that you were expecting of it, you have to have a strategy. You have to think, what is the goal of this video? What do you want the viewer to do as a result of the video that you're showing them? So overarching all of that is, what is your strategy? So once you understand what you want to accomplish with this communication, then that helps you figure out what kind of video to create, whether it's direct to camera, like we're doing now, point a camera at you or at me. Screencast, which means you record whatever comes across your screen. So if you've ever done if you've ever watched a tutorial that's showing you how to use a piece of software, where they're showing you exactly what happens when you open up the software, what to click, that's called screencasting. Or pre-recorded PowerPoint presentation where there's voiceover as the person is showing you the presentation, that's also considered screencast. Or an animation. Some cases animation is cute and it works. Sometimes it's just not going to get what you want. So, and then where it's going to live. Should it be on Facebook? If that's where your audience is, great. Or should it be on YouTube? So strategy, then where it should live, and then the kind and the message. So those are the things I work with when I work with my clients.
Nice. I'm kind of watching the ladies speak and remembering the presidential debates and all the debating and all the panels, and I'm like, I think we kind of do this a little bit better than the ones I've watched recently. Anyway, so for me, I'm going to talk about online radio and podcasting, and how I got interested in it actually was through a colleague that I learned about through my coach training. I did the Martha Beck life coach training to learn coaching tools to help people get healthier. And one of the ladies that I learned about was Michelle Woodward, and she's an executive coach and a leadership coach in DC, and she has a blog talk radio show called Wise Works. And I really liked Michelle and her work. I don't know, I'm not pretending to be her good friend, but I followed her and really enjoyed her work. I thought, well, that's cool. She has a show. Let me just listen and see what I can learn from it. And it was great. And she had a NASA astronaut on that had gone to the moon. I'm like, wow, this is just a great show. So I watched it, and then I thought, well, how do you do this? Like, how do people get into this? I didn't understand the online portion of it. I had worked in regular radio when I got out of college, selling radio advertising. It was one of my first jobs. Full 98.7 Good Time Oldies, which I don't think exists anymore, so we're not really. But anyway, out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. So anyway, I watched and really enjoyed Michelle's show, and then saw the little logo underneath it and it said Blog Talk Radio. I thought, well, what's that? So I click on that, and I learned about Blog Talk, and then realized that you could actually have a free show. I didn't know that you could do that kind of stuff for free. They have paid accounts, and I wound up upgrading to a paid account. But that's how I got started in it, and really enjoyed it. And with my experience with that platform, I would just call a phone number. I set up the actual show as a show, and then I would just I'd schedule it, I'd call in, and my guests would call in their number, and we talked for 45 minutes, and it was a show. That's as simple as it was, and it was free. I upgraded, so I had some more bells and whistles, and now I'm transitioning to self-hosting, because that freedom of entrepreneurship always gets me. I'm like, no more. I don't want to be paying $39 a month for this anymore. I want more freedom. I want it on my website and not sending people to another website. So I'm in the middle of moving it all to my website and doing it all differently. And one of my investments was my new microphone that I got. And just to make sure everyone understands, like all of the stuff that we're sharing, especially what we're doing with the live broadcast, is all really simple stuff that you guys can do too. It's the first time we're doing it, so we figured we'd put our money where our mouth was and test it out. And I was testing with my poor husband last night, yelling up and down the stairs, "Can you hear me? Does it sound okay?" And there was a delay, so he would hear me on the screen a few seconds slower than me yell. I mean, he had a poor headache pretty quick. But poor guy, he suffers through a lot with me sometimes. So anyway, that's how I learned about online radio and podcasting. So quickly, the podcasting, the way I distinguish between the two, and in the industry there is some argument about what the actual definitions are. So this is the general Erica version. So podcasts are digital audio files that are pre-recorded and available for download online. So those you can download. Sometimes you could also listen to them in a player, like somebody can install a player on their website, so you don't have to actually download it, but it's available for download. You can have audio podcast, video podcast, and enhanced. So audio is strictly audio. You hit the player or download it, and it's just, you can put it on your phone and just listen. The video is creating a video and using that as a podcast. And then enhanced is similar to what I used before on Blog Talk Radio, which was I would share photos of the people who were on my show, and I'd have my logo rotating, and it was a slideshow. So while you're listening, you also see the people in different images, whatever you want to upload. So that would be the enhanced version. So those are the three types. And 2.6 million podcasts have been downloaded, or there have been 2.6 million podcast download requests to Apple and iTunes in 2014. So there's a lot. There are a lot of podcasts out there, and people are making good money from it. Other people are just getting exposure. For me, I thought that I'd get a lot of clients from it, and what wound up happening instead is I wound up getting really great contacts and a great network and great partnerships through it. So it had a very different effect than I initially thought, but it's been great. And one of the ways was I went to a Women Ties event and invited Tracy to be on my show, and then we sort of connected in that way. So it's a great way to get in touch with people that you wouldn't normally have an opportunity to always talk to. And it's fun. I just have fun with it. So I really enjoy it. Who listens to podcasts? They're usually free. A third of Americans 12 and over have listened to at least one. And awareness of podcasts has doubled since 2008. It's at 49% of 12 and over Americans at least know of them. They might not know exactly what they are, but they know of them. Now, online radio shows are either pre-recorded or live, but they're at a scheduled time, so they're not available by download at that time. The tricky part here, and follow me please, is that when you have an online radio show, which is what I had through Blog Talk, sometimes they're recorded. And if they're recorded, then they turn into podcasts because now they're downloadable. So initially it starts out as an online radio show that you're hosting, but then it can become a podcast. It's available. So my show was streamed to iTunes, and it's available through the Catch Good Health. Don't go there yet because I'm changing my RSS feed, which is what sends my shows to it. I have to create a new one to send it to my website instead. So, but in about a month, my new one will be set up, and then everyone can download my shows through that instead. So that's what an online radio show versus the podcasts are. And 53% of Americans 12 and over have listened to online radio in the last month, according to Pew Research. So those are some of the stats about online radio and podcasting. I hope that I explained it in a simple way that wasn't too complicated. And one of the other things that I read about recently was that global smartphones, there are 2 billion smartphones. It was estimated that by 2015 there would be 2 billion with the smartphones in the world. And with that capability, there's so much more enriched content online, which is also podcasting. So it's definitely growing a lot. All right, transition back to moderator. So practical tips for people interested in exploring our topics. So Karen, do you want to, oh, sorry, I was looking at Stacy. Stacy, do you want to start first?
The other
Karen.
The other Karen, yes. It's the hair. I just wanted to say that before I even got involved with online marketing, 7 years ago, when I came back from my world travels, I'd heard about this thing called The Secret. I don't know, I read the book, I saw the movie, I really didn't care for how they talked about it, but I was interested in the concept. And so I looked for a podcast on iTunes, and I found this woman who had this podcast, and I listened to her series, and long story short, she became my law of attraction business coach, and we've been together for the last 7 years. And I found her through listening to her podcast, listening to her voice, listening to how she talked about things and explained things. And when she made me an offer, well, she made it to everybody who listened to her podcast, hey, call up for your free 30-minute whatever, and it turned into business for her. So I'm just telling you, it can work, even a podcast. I just thought I'd share that. Tips to remember. So I'm going to share this. If you decide to do video, and I really recommend that you do, well, one of the reasons, if you go to page 28 in your book, the statistics, I'm not going to bore you with the statistics, but videos work. And so just look at the statistics when you get a chance, let them wash over you. You'll see that you really ought to at least think about putting some video on your website or consider adding a little bit more video to your online marketing. It's worth the effort. The other thing I'm going to recommend though here is that if you choose to do a video, you should at least put it on YouTube, because YouTube is owned by Google. And the two biggest search sites are YouTube is #1, no, Google is #1 and YouTube is #2. So when people are looking for your kind of solutions, and if you have a video on YouTube and you've done all the right things to make it findable, is that a word? Yeah, okay. Searchable, well, findable.
It's our word now.
It's our word now. They'll find you, and that's maybe the first way that they'll get to know your point of view. So Facebook is nice, but that's a closed system. And like I said earlier, I don't know how many people I meet tell me, I don't have a Facebook account. But YouTube is free. At least consider creating a business YouTube channel. And when I say a business one, I'll be really quick about this. When you can have your personal YouTube channel and you put up all the pictures of the kids and the videos of the kids and the cats and your parties and all that. And then you have a business one and you only put business stuff and you only like business stuff because Google will show all that stuff. So unless you want your business brand commingled with your Halloween party, keep the two separate. So video, YouTube for business. Okay, I'm done.
So Karen, practical tips for people interested in exploring your expertise.
So if you guys go to your folders on page 23, I'm going to go through a little bit more detail on some things that you can do for your websites. So in this day and age, it's really important to have a website that you have a decent amount of control over. I know I was talking to a few folks here who maybe have some kind of parent company, or somebody's built a site that is very, I don't know, there's no way to be able to change things out easily. So you really want to think about having a website that's very flexible so that you have as much control over it as you can. You can easily make changes. You can add new content to it, your own ads. There's a lot of different things that you can do to improve your site and improve the experience of the people coming to your site. So when you're thinking about your website, at the top here on 23, here are just some different things to think about just to sort of assess where your website is at. Ask yourself, what am I doing online to reach potential customers? How can I make more sales using my website and or mobile phone? Because that's where everybody's going, is this whole mobile app scene. And that's a whole nother can of worms that we can talk about on another day, but it's something to just start thinking about. Then what simple online tools can I use to improve the number of people that are coming to my site and ultimately will hopefully be buying from you, either products or services. No matter what you're selling, it's all important that you get those sales at the end of the day. And then you want to really plan some kind of implementation schedule. So what can I do today, this week, this month, so that I move forward with those technology pieces to grow the readership of my site and drive people towards those sales. So from there, I just am sharing a little bit of information on the bottom of page 23 about affiliate marketing. We're not going to get into that today, but you're more than welcome to come talk to me later if you have questions or want to know more about that. But here are some tools that are some really great places to start, especially like if you're a blogger or have some kind of site where you're looking for other content that people can use, on your site as well. On page 24, this is where I wanted to talk about a couple particular apps that you can use on your website to drive more people to your site. So the first one is called Sumo Me. Has anybody heard of that, or AppSumo? a couple people. This is one of the hottest apps that are going on right now, especially in the retail scene. And what it does is it's basically, you've probably seen this, when you go on the web and you open up a shopping site or an informational site, there's also this box that pops up in the middle of the screen. It's like, join our email list, or, you know, it's some kind of call to action. Usually pops up within the first few minutes that you're on the site, and you're like, wow, what's that? But what it does is it's an opportunity for you as a business owner to capture somebody's email. And that's what, if you're researching this online, look for the terms email capture, and you'll see there's a couple of these sort of tools out there. And it's just an early call to action to bring people to engage with you. And so what's great is if you think about like the sales funnel, you know, we always talk about, you know, people enter the sales funnel at the top and they wander down and eventually buy from you. Well, people, when they're coming on the web, they're showing up for all sorts of different reasons. So they may have clicked on an ad. Somebody might have referred them to your site. They might be doing a price comparison with someone else. They may be trying to educate themselves on a particular type of service or product, and they land on your site. Or they may have just Googled you, and all of a sudden, you know, up pops a video, up pops, you know, something that interests you, and there they are. So these email capture tools allow you to hopefully get those folks to stay with you. And over time, you're able to market to them, and hopefully eventually they'll be ready to buy the product. Because, you know, if people are just researching a product or just finding out about you, you know, they're not necessarily willing to buy that day, but they may, if you continue to reinforce that, will eventually buy from you. And then you also, after they do buy, you can continue to reinforce that sale and encourage them to, you know, build additional loyalty. Hopefully they'll buy again or refer other people to you. So SumoMe is one of the largest growing apps that's online. There's actually a bunch of tools, List Builder, Scrollbox, and SmartBar are some of the other things that you can download in that package. It's totally free to put this on your website, and it takes about a minute to get through the process. I'm serious. Like, this first picture is my site, and I just did that recently, and I was like, wow, it's true what they say. It only took me a minute, and that's pretty amazing for me because I usually struggle through these things. The second picture here is Executive Essentials. This is one of my clients. They sell fine pens and executive gifts. And you can see they are trying to encourage people with VIP offers. So that's another place where you often are like, you know, save $10 on your next $50 order if you put your email address in here. Those are becoming very, very common. And, you know, it incentivizes people to give you their email address. So on page 25, this is just a screenshot of me setting up my SumoMe app. So here it's generated literally one line of code. This is JavaScript. And then underneath that, there's a whole bunch of different buttons here for WordPress, Google, Shopify, Blogger, and I use Weebly for my Affiliate Whisperer website. So all I had to do was click on that box and it walked me through, you know, click here, do that, and stick this code in, and then it will it'll automatically do what it needs to do. And then after I got that set up, I literally followed the directions again, and it took me about 5 minutes to customize the email box onto my website, and now it works like a charm. Collects those email addresses, drops them into a database for me, and now I can drop them into my Constant Contact or other services, you know, that you may be using, and I'm off and marketing with all of those folks. So, anyways, and this is, again, it's completely free, and then there are additional tools and features like being able to analyze the people on your site and such when you buy into their services. So as you get enough business from this, then you can justify possibly paying for some of these apps. They cost only maybe $10 to $20 a month. So as you grow there, then, you know, you can go there. That's always my thought, is try the free product. It works amazingly. And then, you know, you can always add on as you're ready to have it do more things for you. And then the second service I wanted to talk to you today about is live chat services. And you're probably seeing these all over the place again. Like if you flip over to page 26, here's an example of a site where, it says chat with me in the corner, and you can pull open a box. You see these on retail sites a lot for customer service now, also on lots of service sites. We have some cancer going on in our family right now, so I actually was on the American Cancer site a few weeks ago, and I was looking for specific information on diets, for somebody who had just been through major surgery, and I was trying to figure out what to feed her, and they had a live chat and an 800 number to call in on. So it was great because I spent a few minutes stumbling around the site, and then it was so much more effective for me to live chat with somebody and say, here's exactly what's going on. This is what I'm looking for. Can you please help me with, what should I be cooking tonight? And I was sent exactly, the charts and the information of the do's and don'ts according to that situation. So these are some examples of where you'll start to see these services. But what's great about live chat services is that you get to interact with your customers in real time. So they are live on your site doing that research or trying to compare products or find a solution for themselves. And you can say hi and, can I help you with anything? And the way this is all moving, right now it's kind of a little bit passive where it's like if you need customer service help, you click on the box in the corner. But you are starting to see some of these services where they prompt you and say, hi, can I help you? I'm Sally. Can I help you with anything that you're shopping for? And, most everybody's still clicking off on those, like, that's creepy, and you click off. But now there are some services. One of my favorites has actually been one of my clients in the past, Live Engaged by Live Person. And they actually have a service where when you put the JavaScript into the site, you can actually see where people are on the site, and you can see exactly what they're shopping for. So if you see somebody, let's say you sell bedding, and there's somebody who's shopping for quilts or whatever, you can literally interact with them and say, hi, I see you've been shopping for quilts. Is there anything in particular I can help you with? Are there particular colors you're interested in? And again, it's a little creepy, but this is where it's all going. People are going to be starting to interact more and more with you and trying to build that traditional relationship. Yeah. The other thing that LivePerson does is that you can also put up an automated coupon offer. So if somebody has just been sitting on that page, you don't have to talk to them, but if they've been sitting on that page for, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes, they're maybe serious about what they're looking for. So your system can then automatically push them a coupon and say, hey, if you buy a quilt that's more than $50, here's $10 off just for you. And you can give them just in the moment exclusive offer. So those are some of the different ways that the chat services are evolving. I do have a list here. These are some of the biggest companies to consider for live chat. Again, the setup is less than 5 minutes. This is on page 25. The setup is super, super easy. It's as easy as the Sumo Me. And a lot of these companies offer these complete setups for free. So you can use the whole 9 yards, from pushing a coupon to talk to somebody to doing customer service, whatever, and have it on your mobile phone. And it's completely free for the first user. And then as you evolve and you have more staff or more time, you can then buy into a service. It's typically on average around $20, $25 a month. Depends on the company and how much they offer. My favorite, again, I'm going to push LivePerson because they were my client in the past. I've played with all of them, and they all have slightly different features. So it kind of depends on what your needs are when you're researching them. But LivePerson is the most robust and kind of the king of everybody right now, and they have a completely free service for you to play with. So food for thought.
All right, so for me, I'm going to actually answer this question and the next one so that we can wrap up in a couple of minutes. So my practical tips and also my takeaway for online radio and podcasting is one, that it's really easy. It's not that complex. It can be, if you really want to self-host and really get into audio programs and that kind of stuff, you can. But if you're a beginner and you are just interested in this and want to explore it a little bit, it's extremely accessible to everybody. If you go to page 20 in here, I had, in addition to the online radio, I listed just some of the free programs that I have found through my business that I've either liked, used, continue to use, or hear really good things about. And it's a bunch of different categories, but for online radio, I mentioned the one I already used, Blog Talk Radio. To be quite honest, I feel like, in my opinion, that they're growing really fast, and it's been hard customer service-wise to get help, and I've had some glitchy things happen, so that's also motivating me to try something new. But if you were really new at it and just wanted to sample it, I think that'd be an easy way to create a free show and just do a few on your own and get a taste for it and see if you want to keep doing it. Spreaker is another one, and Buzzsprout is another. Those are all similar platforms for online radio and podcasting. And if you've got a computer, especially if you have a Mac, GarageBand on Macs is what I'm using now for my new podcasts. It's a great way to edit audio and add like intro music. You don't have to make intro music, but if you want to, you could do that. Then you have your recording from your show, and then you have your exit music. And you could do all of that in GarageBand. You can also add photos to do the slideshow during your podcast too, if you wanted to get fancy. So podcasting and online radio is super easy, really affordable. You could have a free account. You don't have to buy a microphone. I got that on eBay for like $70. It's a Blue Yeti. I heard great things about it. Other coaches who I knew who were doing podcasting now upgraded to that, and I was like, oh, I'll pay $70 on eBay and get it.
It picks up the crickets.
It picks up, yeah, the crickets.
It picks up the crickets in the background. That's how powerful that mic is.
But don't worry in the back, because we set it up where it's mostly just up front. So any noises going on back there, you don't have to worry about. So anyway, I upgraded to this, but before I was just using, honestly, my phone is how I did the first recordings. I've also recorded audio with just my earbuds that came with my iPhone or my built-in mic. So you don't have to have this. This is just an upgrade that I decided to do after 2 years. I also got crafty and purchased a soundboard on eBay, which is like this very complex giant machine that I really regret purchasing now. I need to send back because I'm not going to be using it. But you have to get out there and just test things out. I had one radio show where I lost the caller. I never thought, like, what would I do if my guest like disappeared? And it happened. And I was like, well, thank God I made that 1 minute of audio music. I had a bad cold and I was coughing a lot. So I like made a little clip that I could play, mute myself and cough. So I quickly went to that and played that and then just summarized, and she called back in and it was fine. But glitches happen, and that's part of the deal. Like, it just happens with technology. You can do everything perfectly and something stops working, like upgrading to Yosemite. No hard feelings, Apple. But anyway,
Hard feelings, Apple.
no hard feelings, Apple. So that's my big takeaway. It's easy, it's cheap, it's a great way to build brand awareness. It's also a great way to get legitimacy. I can't tell you how many people are really impressed that you have a radio show, and I just kind of think, oh, it's an online radio show. I started it kind of on a whim, and I've loved it for the last 2 years. But people really take that very seriously. So if you're just starting out too, it's a great way to build up your reputation also. And if you're established and you want to have a new way to connect and engage your audience, I think it's fantastic. So connecting, networking, brand exposure, legitimacy, and building your audience. And again, the one takeaway for me is that it's really easy and affordable. It's actually not that complex. And you could easily go to YouTube and do tutorials online and learn how to do it. That's how I've learned how to do almost all my technology. So what is your one takeaway that you want to offer people, Stacy?
Just do it. And just do it on YouTube.
Karen, what's your takeaway?
Technology doesn't have to be expensive or scary. If it's something that really overwhelms you, try to break it down. Just pick 1 or 2 things that you think that you want to try to accomplish in the next, couple weeks, next month, next year. And don't be afraid, like, if it totally overwhelms you, to hire somebody to help you with it, because that'll help keep you accountable to move ahead and make the most of your business.
And then connecting with us. If you guys have any questions for us, we all have tables out there. Karen, yours is right there in the corner.
Right here,
And
yes.
Stacy and I are down this way up top. The live, hi YouTube people, sorry. We haven't been showing you too much love lately. Hello, you're still there, still recording. If you want to see this video, it's going to automatically upload to my YouTube channel. It's Catch Good Health YouTube channel, so you could Google Catch Good Health. It'll be there, and then we'll share it on the Women Ties fan page, so you can see it there, and you guys can share it as you want to share it. And Stacey's got a YouTube channel also, so she can post it there and put it on as a playlist or a favorite. So that's where it'll be available. If you want to learn a little bit about radio, you're welcome to check out my show. It's catchgoodhealthradio.com. It'll still be there even after I move it. So if you want to, and it is a plug, but also like you could literally just see what it looks like. And my email, you want to share email, Erica@catchgoodhealth.com.
Stacy at StacyWhiteSolutions.com. That's Stacy with an E.
And I'm Karen at theaffiliatewhisperer.com.
Okay, and hi YouTube people, and goodbye. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, guys.
Well, how many people learned something that's inspired them to learn something more